match top Blues, your source for all things Everton, and just pounced in a minute to talk about Everton's latest humbling defeat in the League Cup. Another year where trophy hopes are pinned on the FA Cup early doors. Obviously, the fairy tale end would be to win something in the final season at Goodison, but I think my mind's certainly not been on trophies, unfortunately, for the last sort of 2 or 3 years. I think everyone's probably the same as well. Obviously, with the situation that we're in at the minute, it's really hard to kind of put all your energy into something that, obviously my whole time supporting Everton, I wanted us to win stuff, obviously, and I still do. But I kind of felt like at the start of every season, you're always thinking, right, let's see what happens in the Cup, let's get far in the Cup, let's try and win something. The further you get, hopefully the luckier you're going to get, and you can get through to a final, and then maybe we can go and do something there. But that kind of mindset, I don't know about anyone else, but that's certainly my thought process. That mindset has shifted away from trophies after the last couple of seasons. But you get the draw, play Doncaster, win that game easy enough. Then Southampton, who I think are like us, they're going to rest players, they're going to be more interested in the league for sure. But the Cup plays players into form, gets fans on side, obviously gives squad players a chance to impress and hopefully force some way into the actual team. I'm sure Southampton will probably have a couple of players who came on last night and played in the game who have probably done enough to be in the thought process for league matches going forward and stuff. We didn't really, to be fair, but out of the Cup again, incredibly frustrating. I had a look online, and I think I read that there's been 8 penalty shootouts at Goodison, and apparently we've only won 2 of them, which is just barbaric. Because I was thinking to myself, that's my 6th one. So I was at Fiorentina, obviously we got beat. I was at Southampton in the Cup a few years ago, where we got beat at the Gladys Street. I was at Fulham last season. I was at Leicester when Baines and I think Tosha missed their pens. I was at Norwich when we won, and then I was obviously there last night as well. So really, really, really frustrating. I mean, it's one of them where in the first half we should have been winning the game. We conceded a really sloppy goal, which we'll come on to, but we had chances. We had a couple of chances before we scored. Then we do, Bo Bryan does really well to keep a corner alive. Keane does well to flick it in, and it's a really good header by Doucouré. Didn't do much in the game, Doucouré, to be fair, but that's kind of been his bread and butter since Sean Dyche come in terms of getting his head on things, getting on loose balls in the box. That's kind of where he thrives, and that's definitely where he's best. I think when he plays a bit deeper towards the defence like he did tonight, when he did in games come on this season, I just think that's not where he's best at. I just think he's much better just behind the striker, where you can obviously get a bit of space running too. He can pull wide, and he doesn't have to worry too much about trying to control possession and be neat and tidy with his passing, because that's not the kind of player he is. He never has been, certainly not for Everton anyway. So did well to give us a lead there, but then we should have made it 2-0. We had chances. Obviously, Jesper Lindstrom's had a great chance. Better got in a couple of times. We had a couple where I think Rowan Dixon got down the right, and so did Lindstrom a couple of times where just the final ball's just lacking, or the ball doesn't bounce for us, or someone needs to shoot when they've passed it, or vice versa, and very frustrating. And then obviously Dixon goes in with a crazy tackle on Fraser down the Southampton left. Really, really poor. Obviously, he's a young lad. He did okay last night. Obviously, he's in the team because our fullback options are really not where they should be for a Premier League team. They shouldn't be relying on 35-plus-year-olds and someone like Nathan Patterson, who's obviously injured and kind of really struggling at the minute. But Dixon's come in. I thought he did okay in the game, but that tackle on Fraser was absolutely crazy, and the ball comes in the end and it goes straight over the bar. Gives him a good chance to put the ball in, and they had us on toast that back post a couple of times in the game, and ball goes into Howard Bell as he heads it down very easily. Lucky sat in the park end for a change, first time ever. And normally in the Upper Gladys, it's really strange seeing a goal go in at the Gladys Street while not really being able to see what's happening. Like, obviously when you're in the Gladys Street, you're so far away from the park end, I can never really tell when the ball goes in until it hits the back of the net kind of thing. There's a couple of chances for us in the second half where I'm thinking, is this a big chance? Are we in on goal, or is there still players left? The depth perception is just crazy. But had a decent view of that, and obviously they scored to make it 1-1. Very frustrating, because as I say, we should have made it 2-0. Kind of been our story of our season, certainly against Brighton. We should have scored when we were on top there. We didn't. We should have made it 3-0 against Bournemouth. We didn't. Should have made it 3-1 against Bournemouth. We didn't. Should have made it 3-1 against Villa. Should have made it 3-3 against Villa. Just missing big chances, and that is where it's not the only frustration. Obviously, the manager's going to take stick as always, but again, I just sit there and I think, if we'd done this, then we might have been all right, and we didn't, and we're not all right, and it's very frustrating. Going at half time, and then we didn't really have much in the second half apart from Lindstrom again goes through and doesn't score. You'd be wanted to see him playing in the first game of the season. Obviously didn't, so neither did O'Brien or Ndiaye, obviously, but people were very, very angry that he wasn't playing. And then you're looking at this game here 6 weeks in, 6 weeks in, whatever we're at now in the season, and he still doesn't look up to it in terms of up to speed, rather than quality-wise. You can tell he's got something, a couple of things that he did in the game, but missing big chances. And I'm sat there thinking to myself, people were so annoyed that he wasn't playing, and then he comes in and misses some big chances for us, and it's like, Jack Harrison was playing, he might put them away, you never know. So it's frustrating. And then they had a couple of chances. Virginia made a really good save, to be fair to him. Didn't have anything to do in the game. Southampton causes no issues, really. I don't think they had a big chance in the whole game. 4 shots, I think they had on target. So an easy day at the office for Virginia. But as soon as the game finishes, you're thinking, here we go again, penalties. I say our record's really bad. I didn't realise it was that bad over the whole history of the team at Goodison. We obviously won a couple away from home, but obviously we've lost some away from home as well. But yeah, really poor. And I said took the miss with me last night. I went to her. I said, when Keane stepped up, if he misses this, is going to be murder. And to be fair to him, Keane, I thought actually played all right in the game. He's not someone I want to see playing for Everton before he did okay last night. He stepped up and he scored, and I'm fair play to him. When Harrison steps up, when Harrison steps up and scores again, I said if he misses, this is going to be a nightmare. And then Ashley Young steps up, and if there was like an opposite for written in the stars, like a negative version, like scribbled in the shite or something like that, and that's what Ashley Young missing was. He stepped up, he didn't look confident, he looked tired, he looked like he wanted to be anywhere but on that penalty spot. He rushes it a little bit and just absolutely whacks it against the goalie. And the goalie probably thought, if someone's not confident, they're going to go down the middle, I'll try and play something. Hits the goal, hits the post, out, and we're out the cup. And yeah, obviously people weren't happy with Ashley Young coming on. The interesting one, I've seen someone say that McNeil should have played in attack midfield. He got a goal and assist last game, got an assist against Bournemouth. He's playing all right at the minute. Why has he then gone to left back? But then it's like, well, if he doesn't play at left back, then that means Ashley Young's playing. That wouldn't have gone down well. So it's just like, this is how much of a mess it is. I'm not saying that people are wrong. I'm not saying the manager should do what he does. But I'm just saying this is what frustrates you so much, that we should be working together and be able to get through this moment at the minute. Because look how tough it is. We're having to play our most creative player, I'd argue, along with Ndiaye at left back. It's not even like he's a wing back where he can get up and down. He's playing as a bona fide left back. It's just like, so the person who originally tweeted saying, has anyone ever gone from number 10 to left back? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it has, but crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, out the cup again, as I say. And while we do have much bigger fish to fry, it will still never sit right with me that Everton are getting knocked out of cups, and you can't be annoyed about it. Like, of course, everyone's going to be frustrated, and I totally get that. Yeah, I just want to say one thing that did really annoy me about the game, and I tweeted about this this morning, was that we're sort of 5-10 minutes in the second half. The ball goes into Harrison Armstrong from Ndiaye, sideways ball into Armstrong. He's just left at the centre circle. He's in our half, and rather than sort of turn this way to maybe go towards Southampton goal or turn back and go around, he just goes to the left and knocks it back to I think it was O'Brien or maybe Keane at centre half. And he was getting pelters and groans and moans from all around me. And someone, fair play to her in the park, and she sort of like shouted, like, get off his back, he was only 17, and you're screaming at him for this. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you bang on. This is a kid who's come in. We're not going anywhere quick in the game. We're not going anywhere quick up the pitch. So we're back in shape. It wasn't like we just had a corner or something and he'd gone back to the fullback who was sitting on the halfway line. And in fact, a couple of times Armstrong got a loose ball and went and drove and tried to make something happen, certainly in the first half. He looks a bit tired in the second half, which is only to be expected, in terms of someone who was always probably only going to play 60-65 minutes in the game. But I'm sat there and thinking, yeah, she's absolutely spot on, because it just winds me up. And then as I was saying that to the missus next to me, and I was saying how ridiculous it is that people are getting on his back for this, the ball goes back to Ndiaye, exact same position, halfway line on the left, and he goes to play a square ball to Decore or Mangala, or might have been Armstrong, I'm not sure, and it gets cut out, and he probably got half the groans and half the pelters that Armstrong did, and he's lost the ball. And I'm like, I could not believe what I was hearing. And then about 5-10 minutes later, the ball goes to O'Brien. He tries to play this crazy diag to Dixon. Yeah, we want to see players trying something, and when it, it's not like he flew it into Rossetti. I think it bounced before it went out. It was only a few yards heavy. It wasn't like a terrible ball or anything. And I want to see people trying stuff, but then you're getting clapped, and I'm thinking, the two players here have lost the ball, and they've gotten nowhere near the stick. The young 17-year-old kid. Now, these are two senior players who played, I don't know, probably in O'Brien's case, probably 60-70 games of senior football, and Ndiaye probably around the same, maybe a bit more. Harrison Armstrong's there on his first ever start, getting moaned and groaned, like audible. It wasn't like a couple of people sat around me like grumbling. It was like that kind of noise you get at Goodison sometimes. I'm sure all football grounds and a player does something that you don't like, whether it be a bad back pass or also whether they pass the ball backwards, or whether they kick it out straight out of play, or have a shot from somewhere stupid. That kind of like collective moan that everyone kind of gets. And it just made me think, what an absolutely ridiculous thing to do, for a young kid. And I hope that obviously it didn't affect him. He went off soon after, as he probably was always going to. But yeah, very frustrating. Not too many positives to take, because I think you've got the team so different to the team that will probably play on the weekend. Just desperately need Jared Branthwaite back fit. We definitely need this ownership sorted. We definitely need fullbacks coming into the club. And yeah, I still think we'll be all right, but it's still so frustrating, and I can understand people are getting a bit annoyed and are starting to lose a tether a little bit, but I just really hope we can stick together and obviously get through with this. So let me know your thoughts down below on the game, who you thought played well, who maybe didn't, and we'll see you next time. Nice one.